Hello. So it's been a minute. It's been over a month since I posted, but this was a well-needed rest period. A lot has been going on within this month. 2 months, well, 3 months at this point, because, coronavirus, and then the protests started, and I graduated from college, so I'm just like, ooh, I need a break, kind of relax. So that's where I've been kind of doing, that's where my mind's been at. It's just kind of like reflecting and really getting my mind right and figuring out what I want to do. So, yes, hello, c'est moi, Tyra, Tila. So yeah, I don't know. This is like my third take. So bear with me. I have a lot of things on my mind and I probably should have wrote something down, but I did not. So hey, welcome back. Thanks for listening. This is probably going to be a bit on the longer side because I'm going to be venting. So, but basically, I'm back home in Mississippi, so just kind of relaxing in my parents' house as I kind of recuperate and continue to write and just get things together. I have a big project in the works. I wanted to have it up by tomorrow, but it's probably not gonna happen. Probably gonna happen maybe next week. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna go about doing things. But yeah, whenever it's up, I'll probably put a video about it, like a preview or something, like 3 days prior. Just cause I wanna like promote, but I don't wanna like promote a lot because I don't know. I don't have energy for that. But yeah, a lot of things have been going on and I just want to finally say my piece because a lot of people have been kind of like sending me stuff every day about what's going on in the world, and I'm like, okay, this is why I deleted all my social media, because it's become too much for me emotionally, mentally, physically, like literally. I needed time for myself, so I took that time for about 3 weeks to like, I deleted all my social media and I just got rid of it. Well, just kind of like removed myself. Yes, I stayed aware. I didn't delete YouTube and I would still read articles, but I wasn't getting my information from like Twitter. So yeah, it was a well-needed rest. Yeah, I feel a little bit better. Emphasis on a little bit, but yeah. So basically I wanted to just talk about what we'll vent about is just like, I don't know, because this is gonna go a lot of places. I need to have like a discussion board. I'm actually gonna be having a conversation with my old Kaylee, on Tuesday. That's gonna be June 23rd, 12 o'clock Eastern time, 11 o'clock, well, PM, well, AM, yeah, because anyways, 11 a.m. Central time. So check that out. That's going to be on our social media, on our Instagram. My Instagram is The Weird Cousin. So yeah, it's going to be easy to find. It's literally the same name as this channel. But basically, like, I don't know. I've just been kind of like going through waves of being like upset and also feeling numb. Because like a lot of these things that are going on in the world, people are just now realizing, oh wow, police brutality is a thing. Oh wow, black bodies really don't matter in the grand scheme of this like America. So and just like throughout the globe, there's a whole just the world basically resonates with this colonial thinking, this white supremacy thinking. So yeah, it's time. People are finally starting to wake up and realize it's time to kind of like unthink these things, dismantle these organizations, these legislations, all these tools that were made to oppress Black people and Indigenous people. So And I'm so glad, because this is what I've been working for years, like ever since I became, I guess, like conscious of like the Black plight and what it means to be Black in America and around the world. Because I don't have just family in America. My mom's from England and her parents are from Jamaica, so I have family literally everywhere. I have family in Colombia, I have family in New Zealand. I lived in Japan for a few years. My dad was in the Air Force, so it's just like I've kind of seen the world a little bit for my young age of 22, and I kind of like see how I've kind of noticed how these different not companies, these different countries operate and like, I guess, view race and ethnicities and different I don't know, different racial groups. So it's just like, I don't know, I've always been like hyper aware of it, also being like a obviously Black woman. So like I can't just be like, I'm not, there's nothing about me that's really ambiguous. Like I don't know, the only time people have ever thought that I was like maybe a little bit other is because like I'll have like my afro out and I have a bit of a curl. So, but that doesn't matter. Like literally, I don't know, the whole texturism thing is a whole nother problem within the Black community of like, oh, you have 4C, oh, you have 3C, like who cares, whatever. It's just like your curl pattern, no one cares. As long as you're happy with what you were blessed with, that's all that matters. As long as what you're doing is good for your health and makes you feel good, that's all that matters. But yeah, I've been like asked, oh, are you like, I don't know, Native American or something? That's kind of like the like running joke within like the Black community. It's like, oh, I'm like, I have Cherokee in me or something like that. Like, no, you don't. Because that's what my dad's side of the family said. They're like, oh, we have like Native American in us. No, we don't. But it's just like, I don't know. There's also this thing of like Black people wanting to kind of like exotify themselves or remove themselves from being regular Black. What the heck is regular Black? Yes, we were born in America and we don't know exactly what our roots are from besides the South of this country. But like, we have made our own culture, like, and our culture has been so impactful that the rest of the world is trying to emulate it. Like, have you seen K-pop? That's basically early 2000s, like hip hop, R&B. Like, come on, what's going on? What's not clicking? Like, I don't know. And then like also like the whole thing with like big lips. Like 10 years ago, big lips were like seen as like gross. So, but now everyone wants to get their lips injected, and then everyone's trying to like blackfish and like trying to get our like be melanated, and so it's like, what? This stuff is coming full circle, and you guys really love, a lot of people really love to like kind of emulate Blackness, well, what Black Americanness is, but don't want the struggle. And you can't. Who said this? I know. Who is it? Amanda Seales. Or Steele, Amanda Steele, I think. She's saying you can't, you can't want my rhythm without my blues. Like, you can't just have all the fun bits of what it is to be Black. Like, and also, Black people aren't a monolith. We're not all rappers and freaking dancers and like stuff like that. Like, we have everyone. We have every other trade within our community. We are people. Like, we're not like, I don't know. It's just like, it's so bizarre to me that like people think of, oh yeah. Oh, you're not like a regular Black girl. Like, you know how many times I've been called, oh, you're an Oreo. Just because I talk the way I talk doesn't mean I think I'm better than you, doesn't mean I think that I am closer to whiteness. This is just how I was raised to talk. My dad's from like Chicago, my mom's from England. How the heck do you think I'm gonna sound? Like, I'm not gonna have a southern accent. Not really. Like, maybe sometimes if I'm tired I'll say something that's like, and I say y'all, but like most people do. Most people up north say y'all. Like, chill. Anyways, but it's just like, it's so funny because like there's, I don't know, there's multiplicity within the Black community. It's not just one thing. It's not just, oh, I'm blacker than you because I know the lyrics to this rap song. So do you okay, cool, you know a lyric to a Kendrick Lamar song, but do you know who Erykah Badu is? Do you know who Jill Scott is? Do you know who Music Soul Child is? Like, Maxwell, come on now, like the classics. Do you know like Diana Ross? Do you know Shaka Khan, Tina Turner? Like, these icons, like, don't even get me started, because like these people that want to be kind of infiltrate this community for the superficial things, like the things that everyone benefits from. So our music, our style, our aesthetic. Yes, we have a whole aesthetic and the world benefits off of it, but us. And it's just like, y'all don't see it. Like, this is deeper than just how we cook our food. Like, also there's a whole history behind soul food, which not every Black person knows how to cook. Like, have you tried some of our auntie's mac and cheese? Some of it is not good. But it's just like, soul food has a whole history of its own. Like, that derives from slavery, and like candied yams, like that's because they, oh man, like yams is like an African thing. And so of course we brought that to America, and they had sweet potatoes. So, and that was similar. So like, but we like kind of prepared things with the different items we had to utilize. So it's just like, a lot of the food that we have comes from Africa and comes from the scraps that we were given as slaves. Like chitlins, that's like the scraps that were given to Black slaves on the plantation to feed themselves. And also a lot of people don't, a lot of times, remember the whole conversation, like when Kanye was talking about how, see, I told you this is going to be ranting. Like, there's no, this is like a stream of consciousness. There's no like real, I mean, there's a message. I mean, just like listen to what I'm saying, but like also don't expect like a pattern. Well, everything kind of does tie together, but like, it's just going to be scatterbrained. I'm just brain finding right now. But like, Kanye was saying how, oh, why didn't the slaves free themselves? First off, the slaves did free themselves. They basically were already free a year before the Emancipation Proclamation. They were revolting, and every opportunity that Black people had to revolt, they did. Have you ever heard of Ebo's Landing? The whole slave ship that drowned themselves to escape from slavery because they knew that death would be better than living in shackles of the white man, because it was miserable. And like also how there were systems made to separate different communities of Black people. So there would be an Igbo person, and then there would be a soy, no, I don't know, like I don't know many like different ethnic groups within Africa, because I've been very far removed from it, and I want to know more African history and like different. I could name like 20 countries, but like that doesn't mean that I know much about those countries. But anyways, that's another thing, because African history is very different from African American history, and I'm pretty versed in African American history, but I'm definitely trying to lead more to the African history. But anyways, but they put these different like groups of people together that spoke different dialects, different languages, so that they couldn't communicate. So that would enable them from revolting, because if you communication is key. Communication is how we make decisions, how we translate each other's feelings, and if you can't understand someone, how are you going to get something done? So that's why it was so hard to revolt, because they outgunned us. What in the world? It looked like someone was running in the background. I don't even know. I don't like that. Maybe it was a car. I don't know. But we were outgunned. We were we didn't have the resources. And yes, after a while in the South, there was more slaves than actual people, like free people. So it's like, whoa. And that's how we began to kind of revolt, because we had power in numbers. But it's like a lot of people also, like a lot of times you got to remember, history is just his story. It's one-sided. In America, it is very one-sided because it's the white history. It's what white people thought would be important. There's always three sides to the truth. There's either party's truth, what they experienced, how they saw it, or they wanted it to be seen, and then there's the actual unbiased truth. And I mean, we're only getting one side. We're not even getting the other party's story. So and a lot of times, like different schools, they have these textbooks. A few years ago, there was a textbook that was calling slaves immigrants. We did not choose to immigrate here. We didn't choose to come here and do free labor for almost 400 years. No. Do you think anyone in their right mind would come to a country that's already backwards and go work for some randoms for free? No. What would be there? That's not an asylum. That's a hell. So yeah, no. I don't know. There's so many things going on in my head. Also, like speaking on like the Black Lives Matter movement and how it has been taken over by the patriarchy, and it, instead of becoming Black Lives Matter as a whole, it kind of is slowly turning into Black men's lives matter. But like, what about Black women? What about Black trans people? Like, come on now. Like, what about non-binary Black people? Like, it's not one-sided. It's not. And we need to like stop trying to make everything so niche. Stop leaving people out, because that's not helping anyone at the end of the day. How are you gonna ask Black women to fight for you all the time, but you won't fight for them when it's time for them to when they're hurting? Like, you always see like images of Black women and children standing at the front lines of these protests, and then and they're protesting for Black men, but like, what about protesting for Breonna Taylor? What about Toyin, Alua Toyin? And it's like, dang, like, we can't even, no one's even checking for Black women either. Like, dang, we can't. It's the whole world basically against Black women at this point. And if this doesn't apply to you, if you have been an ally to Black women, then this doesn't apply to you, then you're good. But like, if you have been actively leaving black women out of the conversation when it comes to actually protecting people like within the black community and not just black men, then like you're part of the problem. It's called misogynoir. Like literally look it up, and it's a problem. Misogyny is a problem, and it's a problem within the black community. So it's like, I don't know, guys. And like a lot. This is gonna probably fall on a lot of deaf ears because a lot of people don't like to be called out. But like if this applies to you, just listen to it, understand it, humble yourself. Why do you have all this pride? Like, why? Because at the end of the day, black women are going to continue to fight for you, and you know it, but who's going to fight for us? So maybe like returning a favor, like I feel like that's not asking a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I even like have conversation with my dad about this, and I'm just like, and sometimes he says things, I'm like, that's problematic. We're gonna nip that in the bud. And then he gets offensive, and then I'm like, keep talking, and I'll keep talking until eventually he listens to me. And I'm just like, I shouldn't have to explain myself to the depths that I'm just repeating myself over and over again until you finally understand, oh, maybe black women are hurting in a different way than black men. Maybe the plight of black women is just as bad as black men. Maybe we should do something about that. But like, how about you just listen to us the first time around instead of after another case happens, another black woman's body is violated and laid out and thrown in a trash can. Like, so I'm just like, dang. And like, let this black woman be dark skinned or of a darker complexion. Oh, no one especially cares. So it's like, wow, all the cards are against us at this point. It's like, and I don't know. And bringing up color and colorism, a lot of people, they're like, oh, okay, you're bitter black woman, whatever, blah, 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 blase, blase. And it's like, I'm not bitter. Why would I be bitter? I'm just addressing a problem that you all know you are a part of. And you're gaslighting me by calling me bitter instead of addressing your own transgressions. So I'm just like, I don't know. It's just silly. It's like, it's a gimmick at this point because I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to speak my truth because I don't know. I've kept all these things in my head for so long, just in fear that like I would be kind of silenced, and in many cases I have been silenced, so I've been kind of conditioned not to speak a lot of times. But then like being in academia and having the opportunity I've often been given the mic to kind of express how I've been feeling, and being in an environment where people are more likely to listen to my own experiences, because I've had a lot of personal experiences that are just like, what the heck, like, and that's not just only from like black men, but like the world, everyone else. So, and time again, like usually the only people that kind of like check in on me or check for me are black women. So I'm just like, whoa. Yeah, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, sisterhood is like the only thing that a lot of black women have as a support system. We don't even have our brothers. So it's like, whoa, I don't know, it's a reality check, for sure. And like, if I ever have kids and I have sons, I'm just like, that's gonna be the very most important thing that I teach them, is to take care of their sisters, because no one else will in this world, especially. And also not just your sisters, like your actual blood sisters, but like black women in general, because there's always going to be that situation where there's a group of people, a group of men, and there's like, I've seen countless like videos, and it's always like kind of the same, where it's like a group of men against like one black woman, and they're like joking and laughing at her and like abusing her. Like I just saw a video of a kid, he was having an argument with this black girl, and they're like 14, 15 in a high school, and she's talking, she's not even raising her voice, he's raising his voice at her, and she turns around to walk away, and he slaps her in the back of the head, and the people that are recording, the people in the background, are laughing, and it's like, why are you laughing at this boy abusing this girl? She did nothing to him, and she couldn't do nothing but just gather herself up and leave, because no one was going to protect her, no one was checking for her, no one was saying, that's not okay, are you all right? Like, it's, and there's, oh man, it's just so exhausting, because it's like, wow, our own brothers like treat us like crap, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, the only people we have are our own sisters. So yeah, it's disheartening, but like, I don't know, if you have done stuff like that, if you've been silent, just know that like, you are the problem, but you don't have to be the problem, because you can speak up next time, you can help out, you can use your voice, you can step up. Like, just step up, that's all we ask, because we're not trying to put ourselves in these situations all the time where we're in danger. The main reason a lot of times we put ourselves in danger is to protect you guys. So like, why can't you just step up just a little bit? Like, come on now, we're not even asking for much, just like, don't abuse us and don't let other people abuse us. Yeah, this is entirely too long, and I'm probably not going to edit this just because I don't want to. But yeah, that's how I feel. That's why I took a break from the internet. Also, I don't know, there's like a lot of like, what's the word for it? I don't know, like, not performative activism. I've been seeing like a lot of like pictures and stuff on Instagram and Twitter, and it's like, can we like, why do we always have to prove something? We have to prove, oh, that we're doing all this and all that for our movement. Can't we just always consistently be doing it? Like, you don't have to prove, oh, I care about Black Lives Matter, so I'm gonna post this black box. Oh, I care about Black Lives Matter, so I'm gonna post a picture of me protesting. Like, stop. It's not really helpful. Can we just, I don't know, like, it's just like, can we actually do things not to show anything, not to add to our feed, but to actually be helpful? So like, posting resources, challenging other people. Like, that's the one thing that like I've been trying to do, is challenge people. Okay, you say you are for Black lives, how about you offer your resources? If you are a writer, how about you interview, or a journalist, how about you interview some people in your life and get their experiences, and send this article out to people that don't understand Black plight. Or if you are a medic, maybe like offer your resources and say, hey, people that have been injured or something, meet me at this location or something. Like, or just offer like medical advice. Like, it's just like little things. You don't have to always be doing this. Well, you don't have, activism is more than just going to a protest. It's being a source, it's being a leader, it's being a guide and a helping aid to a bigger movement. And it never stops either. Activism never stops. It's not just, oh, this one case happened, so we have to go out in the streets. No, continue to do that, because That's why whenever you're doing a job that you get paid for, you don't just do it for like an hour and then stop, because your manager or whoever your supervisor is going to be like, hey, what are you doing? And you'll be like, oh, I did this little bit for this little bit of time, so it stopped. Okay. But like, so like, you don't just do one little bit of work and then stop for the rest of the day and be like, oof, that was all I needed to do. You don't do that. You continue to work because that's your job. And why does activism have to be just a temporary thing? It doesn't end. My activism has never ended since I've started to actually understand the problems within the systems that we live in. So I'm just like, every opportunity that I've been given to serve my community, I've taken it. So I've always been trying to use my platform to support Black people and Indigenous people. Like that's what I feel like my purpose is in life is. So I don't know. Am I in focus? Yeah. No. Yes. Looks good. I don't know. My eyes are a bit blurry right now, but it's just like, why? I don't know. This shouldn't be a phase for you. This shouldn't be like, oh, I did this this one time, so like I'm an activist. No. You went to one protest, like, but what else have you been doing? So I challenge these people, everyone that's like been posting and stuff and like went to a protest and whatnot, don't stop. Continue to do it in whatever ways that you can. And I know that it is exhausting. Believe me, I know. But you can do activism in so many ways, and it's not just like, just use the tools that you've been blessed with, the talents that you have, to support the Black community. That's awesome. That is activism, because you are working for a greater good. So yeah, and activism has active in it. You are actively working. So why become stagnant? Why stop? Why become this benign just figure, this being that no longer helps out in the community until it's like everyone's doing it? There's no clout. You shouldn't be chasing clout for activism. Like, well, like that's, I don't know, it's just silly. So just like remember what you're doing this for, and don't lose sight of that, because once you lose sight and it becomes like more of a thing, of a showy thing, then that's when it becomes disingenuous, and you don't want that. No one needs that, because that's when it becomes more toxic. So yeah, that's all I really had to say. I went on way too long. It's been like 30 minutes. Yeah, but I hope you guys are having a great day. Follow me on my socials. I'm on Twitter at space_essence_, and then on Instagram I'm the weird cousin, and I don't do Facebook. Yeah, so yeah, check me out. Let me know if you have any ideas. My project is gonna be up hopefully next week, and it's gonna be really big, so I'm excited to launch that. That is one thing that definitely will be almost like a mecca for like activism and how you can help. So, and that's not only for just Black people and brown people, but also allies. So it's gonna be a space for all of that. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm tired of like looking at this camera. But yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Yikes. Anyways, have a good day. Stay humble. Don't forget what your mission is, and continue to be great. All right, bye.